Hi, I'm Tim Tuller, canon for music at St. John's Cathedral. I'm going to say just a couple of words about some of the music for this Sunday. This is going to be the fourth Sunday in Lent, and so we're getting ever deeper into Lent. And our offertory anthem this week is by Giovanni Pierluigi da Palestrina. He was a 16th century Roman composer, and he was very active at a time of great turmoil in the church. The Reformation, the Protestant Reformation had just happened, and he was really primarily active in the decades immediately following that, the 1570s, 80s, and so on. You could say the early Counter-Reformation in the Catholic Church. Palestrina was a devout Roman Catholic himself, and most of his music was written for the church. He wrote hundreds of motets and masses, almost all of it sacred music, and he is really considered the preeminent composer of the 16th century. He took a lot of styles of composition that had existed before his time and really perfected them. And certainly his music for the church is considered to this day unrivaled. And he was a huge influence on subsequent generations of composers. The piece that we're singing this Sunday is entitled Super Flumina Babylonis, and it is a Latin setting of the first verse of Psalm 136. By the waters of Babylon we sat down and wept when we remembered you, O Zion. It's a rather short but very effective setting for 4 parts. Palestrina had a unique understanding of choral texture and the human voice. And one of the things that's characteristic of his style is that the words always are clear, no matter how complicated his textures can get. He always makes sure that the text and words are clear. That was always a very important part of his approach. Our posted this week is entitled Trumpet by Richard Prue. Prue was an American composer. His name appears quite frequently on programs at St. John's. He was heavily involved in the editing of our own hymnal 1982, and quite a bit of service music in there was written by him. We've sung his Sanctus many times and some of his other settings of liturgical music. He lived from 1937 to 2010. And during that time, he had an incredible career as both a composer of sacred music, a music editor, and he was, for the most part, remained in Chicago. He was associated with the Roman Catholic Holy Name Cathedral in Chicago for many decades. That's where he wrote a lot of his music. The piece is entitled Trumpet, and what that is referring to is a specific stop on the organ called a trumpet. And it's basically a very brassy reed sound. And so it sort of simulates the sound of an actual orchestral trumpet. And it's just very bright and reedy, and it makes for a very effective piece to set a posted to. I hope you enjoy the music this Sunday.